On June 2, 1966, Cedric Price publishes The Potteries Thimke Belt, and it produces a great interest, so he carries out an innovative research work that Price does by his own, to give solution to a series of problems that he has detected in English society of the time, in the existing university system and in the territory where it lives. Therefore Price designs a concrete plan, a project carried out for a specific location, North Staffordshire. In it he proposes the construction of a new higher education campus of 2,800 hectares for 22,000 students. Seeks to solve two of the most important problems of the crisis, the industrial and university crisis, introducing new concepts such as the recovery of the abandoned industrial landscape or the reuse of pre-existing resources, elements that show a pioneering environmental awareness at that time. Studying this project provides us with a novel vision of the interactions that can take place between education and society and how it can serve to positively transform it. In this project, architecture is not treated as an object that is imposed on the territory for an economic commercial purpose, but is the support of a new teaching system that aims to approach society and provide tools for its development, a harmonious form with the landscape where this relationship will take place. This way of acting should serve as a stimulus in current territorial developments, and its knowledge can bring us closer to education and social policies more in line with current problems. Hence the interest of this study and its definition. The abandoned railway network is used as the basic infrastructure of the new university. Mobile modules for classrooms, laboratories and residential units are superimposed on it, which are also temporary. These limited life cycles can allow prototyping to experiment with new ways of living, and transfer to the whole of society, building these types based on PTB elsewhere. The modules can be moved to the railway line that supports them, or remain fixed, leaving it at certain points along the route. They can also coordinate between them in different ways according to the needs of the moment. Thus, the proposed architecture itself is an open and continuous field of experimentation, where innovation and transfer to society are its fundamental premises. The project as a whole has three main fixed points called transfer areas, and which serve to connect the PTB with the outside world, reconfigure the modules and establish the buildings that require a certain permanence. These areas are located at the vertices of the outer triangle, Pitt's Hill, Madeley and Mere. Pitt's Hill serves as a connection to Liverpool, Manchester and Sheffield. Everything is located in the experimental plants, and in its proximity they can locate flexible teaching areas built by means of small temporary rooms and accommodations for which all operate. Madeley connects with the M6, a motorway that connects Liverpool and Manchester with Birmingham and London, where there are specific work areas which can adopt various autonomous configurations, and towers for the insertion of box houses, a temporary accommodation for staff, short and medium-term visitor, and Mere, which connects PTB with Leicester via road and rail. In its vicinity there is also an airport which connects with the monorail to the interchange area. This allows a quick PTB link with anywhere in the world. Next to this transfer area there are accommodation areas for students and staff, a mobile laboratory area and portable modules for occasional work. These areas are designed with real mechanisms with cranes, elevators, conveyor belts and forklifts, to provide quick exchanges with the outside world, and make a fast and fluid transit with PTB. Inside the triangular space defined as PTB it also highlights the existing Stoke-on-Trent station. Programmatic variability also implies notions of change and instability. The architecture must be adapted to the needs of the users, and as these change more and more rapidly, our buildings must be designed to be able to withstand without major problems. They must be adaptable with a low cost and not only economic. For this reason, different configurations are foreseen for both the classroom modules and the homes, depending on their possible use or parking place. These are 4 types of housing that will be distributed throughout the area: box, expansion, battery and capsule. The crate houses are coupled to the 13-level vertical concrete structure, forming high-density high-rise buildings. His image is seen as an extrapolation taken to the limit of the Le Corbusier room unit, where these houses would be mechanically raised to a position for a certain period of time, and after this time, they would be replaced with a form almost as easy as when Le Corbusier inserts his housing modules into the model of the building, to provide him with greater flexibility. It is also proposed to use them individually or in conjunction with 2 or 3 units, which provides wide variations in the use of this domestic space. They also show a high degree of sensitivity towards passive environmental control. These types of houses are somewhat reminiscent of the Nakagan capsule tower built by Kisho Kurikawa. Sprawl homes are small single-family buildings, isolated and prefabricated with a wooden structure, formed by the addition of monofunctional units that allow the possibility of modification and association, creating homes with different capacities for families of any size, age or characteristic. The units are supported by an input tray with 3 adjustable support points that allow them to be seated on all types of terrain. Different settlements are proposed by means of groups with a linear scheme, for those cases in which you want to get away from the surrounding landscape, and always with a series of shared common services that give meaning to the group, such as central heating, water and sewage water. This provision of common sprawl housing services is used to improve the standards of pre-existing housing. These small houses remind us of the projected units of Magnitogorsk and Green Moscow. The 3rd type of housing is battery housing, another type of collective housing that, instead of developing in height, does so horizontally, through the distribution of modules within a large structural and common services sankich, formed by a lower structure that it serves as the floor of the houses, elevated from the ground. The large common decks can be used for outdoor activities. Vehicles can also be parked in the lower structure of the sanish because the houses are supported by adjustable supports. The last type of house is the capsule, which are small cabins next to a train or caravan car, which would be prefabricated with a metal structure and video fiber panels provided with transparent and translucent glass panels, and fully equipped with folding furniture that allow the overlapping of the functions of the house, and a great economy of space. They have capacity for 1 person, but could accommodate 2 inhabitants for a short period of time. They are conceived as temporary accommodation. The units are placed on high supports in pleasant places with good views. The learning equipment is located within the internal rail system, and its configuration varies according to the needs of each center. The main nuclei of activity are linked to the transfer areas to facilitate reconfigurations to promote the exchange between teaching and practical applications. Modules are proposed that can be used as part of the normal train service or separately. They can also be parked on a track for scheduled theoretical teaching and informal discussions. These are planned to operate autonomously by the students. In the whole of the area, the introduction of civic social equipment is also foreseen. This will produce an improvement in the living conditions of the area.